When I go, don't cry for me. In my father's arms I'll be. Sun and moon will be replaced with the light of Jesus' face. All my tears be washed away. 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 All my tears be washed away.
Oh boy. Oh boy, guys and gals, and what the fuck? I mean, I assume at some point we're gonna have episodes that don't start with what the fuck, but that is not this one. It's been a wild energy ride the past what? I don't know. This year is insane. Best year of my life, I'll point that out, but also totally insane. Like you're going to feel the full spectrum of everything. It's cool. It's all good. It's good to I think I spoke about it recently in some other ones about, feeling sadness and other emotions that there's qualitative value to that. It's not a bad thing. It's cool. You don't want to get stuck in it. That's not fun. No one likes that, but not the worst thing. Okay, we're going to talk about a lot of shit today because there's been a lot of shit going on. First, because I like to take the time to do this type of stuff, I'm going to talk about I got a little feedback. Got a little feedback from the Ramin episode. I hope everyone, I feel like 98% of people who listen to this podcast understand when I say I'm a Trump fan, I'm not actually a fan of Donald Trump. Like, I'm not voting for him. I don't endorse him. I'm entertained. I'm not voting for him. I couldn't imagine a scenario where I would vote for someone like that. However, I've removed myself from the situation, looked at my actual power as a person. I will imagine the most harmonious outcome, of course, but I'm not endorsing Donald Trump because some people seem to be a little confused about that. And, then you don't know me well enough. Why would I choose to do that? I'm not endorsing anything in the political system, and it's not a nihilistic way of looking at it either, I promise you. I'm engaged with it. I pay attention. I know what's going on in the Supreme Court. It's going to be okay. Anyway, just wanted to clear the air on that in case people think I've completely swung to the alt-right. It's not a thing that happens. But I was watching a lot of Fox News and fucking Donald Trump during the beginning of the pandemic. It was literally the best TV I had seen in years. Truthfully, fucking sorry. Whatever. Anyway, getting back to the real shit, the cosmic woo stuff. Last night, I stayed up till the wee hours making a fuckload of music. And it's the first time I had done that. Holy shit. Probably since like February. And it felt really good. Huge shift of energy. This is a reminder for anyone who's doing any type of creative work. You gotta do your shit. A lot of what this episode is going to be about is shifting in, like, basically your higher self, whatever you want to call it, aliens, cosmic beings, best versions of yourself, God version, whatever, is shuffling you into place. So you're shuffling yourself into place to basically, you gotta be where you're supposed to be. If you're not doing the things you're supposed to do, the really important things that you really like deep down desire, want to do, your life will get fucking wacky and wackier than usual. Like, that's one thing Corona and the forced I think it's the aspect of the divine feminine, but what it's forced us to do is interrupt all patterns. So, like, whatever you were doing to not do the thing that you were supposed to be doing, now all those excuses are pretty much gone, or you're forced to face the reality of the situation you've created and relationships you've created, and you got to deal with those. And that's creates a little friction in the collective, if you know what I mean. So that's what's going on. But it's cool because that means if you heed that call and you actually pay attention to what you really want to be doing and you do it and you communicate it to yourself, to others, if you possess that ability and express it, most importantly, you're good to go and you'll feel so much better. It's like not having taken a shit in a long time, like a really long time. I'm not one who's prone to constipation, but if you are, then you probably, we can all imagine. Don't imagine too actively. You don't want that to show up in your reality, but it's like that. Like, you gotta get this stuff out. You have to allow yourself to gently guide yourself where you need to be, who you need to be with, when you need to be there, and be cool about it. Trust it. And if you get triggered by some shit during that process, don't freak out. I say this as someone who's the king of freaking out. I hope that's been emphasized, but I'm sure that'll be teased out as time goes on. Just how much I am prone to freaking out, but sometimes you don't. You're just like, fuck, I gotta do the thing I'm supposed to do. Maybe it's time not to freak out right now. Okay, a lot of stuff. Cool idea from P the Fairy. She was just on Ramin's podcast too, where she was like, hey, you should interview Oneness because, you know, there's weird shit going on. I think she made a tweet like, made a tweet? That's not how you say that. That's bad. Don't say it like that. Made a tweet. Tweeted? Put on the internet site, twitter.com, that, now I forgot what I was talking about. No, what was it? What did P tweet about? It's going to be a lot of this episode, so just get ready for that. Feeling a little brain frog, you know what I mean? What was she talking about? Well, it'll come back to me. Anyway, she was talking about, at one point, we should interview Oneness. Oh, yeah, I remember what she said. She said, like, well, who agreed to being, like, the parameters of being a human being? Essentially, I'm paraphrasing. And I was thinking about the same thing a couple of days before. It's like, it's ridiculous. It's really an insane situation. It's very silly. It's a very silly thing to come up with. It's cool. It's elegant most of the time. Like, wow, what a cool place. But some of it's like, what? Why do you gotta do this? But anyway, for the most part, it's pretty good. Okay, so interviewing Oneness, that's an idea. I'm going to think about that. Maybe I'll do it this episode. I don't know. Okay, let's just run through shit, right? And I'll probably ramble about any number. Did anyone see the Dolphins? I think I had a dream where the Dolphins they scored the most points they ever scored. How dumb is that dream? It's the stuff I dream about. They crushed the Niners. That was cool. Anyway, they're doing football during a pandemic. What the fuck is that? Doesn't even make sense. What are they doing? The NBA did good. Congratulations to the Lakers. Okay. Imagine everyone being really well and just doing really well. Like, just do it is the only way I could say it. It's the best thing you can do for you and for your world. Why would you want to live in a world where some people don't do well and some people do? So imagine that world. And when I say imagine, literally imagine it in your mind and disregard reality. It doesn't mean turn a blind eye. Don't pay attention to objective suffering, but imagine the world where everyone's doing really well. Guess what? If you keep imagining that, more people pick up on that frequency. They start to imagine, and then it starts to happen. That's literally the entire objective world is created from that imaginal capacity. So just imagine everyone being really well. There is a line here that I think some people sense and go in either direction around, where you can take it, it's like, well, you're just being selfish. You're only thinking, your illusion of central position, right? It's just you. There's nothing else. You don't have to worry about anyone else. It doesn't affect you. That can quickly slip into privilege and all this other things where it's like, oh my God, I have to worry about everyone else. Just focus on yourself until you stabilize the ability to calibrate at a higher frequency or perspective. Once you do that, you'll be fine. Trust me, you're not going to be some selfish prick who doesn't care about marginalized people or shitty situations in the world, like the environment. You won't. It won't make sense because you'll appreciate everything and you'll appreciate diversity, fucking natural environments. Like you'll like all this stuff you're supposed to like about. I don't want to negate the ideas that come from, I don't know, this fucking Trump stuff. Everyone's thinking about Trump. That's the only thing I can think about. I really don't care at this point, but I keep talking about it, which means people must be thinking about it. Or maybe it's in my subconscious somewhere. But seriously, I don't. Anyway, regardless, you will start caring about the same things you care about and are passionate about when you allow yourself to imagine everyone doing really well, including Donald Trump. Sorry, even him, even Schmucko, even the Schmuckos in your life. This is what I'm trying to convey when I say I'm a Trump fan, and I'm not making it up. When I was like, wow, I'm really entertained by this guy. I'm a fan of this comedic performance. And people are, oh, he's the president. It's fine. If I can keep his name out of my mouth for 5 minutes, this episode total, that will be an achievement. God bless me. It's like picking at a scab at this point. You ever forget you're just a giant ball of crystallized light and sound, and that none of this actually exists outside the awareness you give it? Or is it just me? That's basically what's going on. It's like we're these amorphous kind of liquid light things that like come across different awarenesses and spectrums and frequencies and resonate, and we've constructed ourselves into these crystallized hardened bodies. That sounds like a porn. That's what we do it, and then we're like, this is what it is. This is the whole thing. Well, I think maybe there's something else. I've had experiences, but this is our whole experience. And that's cool that we've stitched it together in linear time, this ability to like truly convince ourselves that this is who we are. I am Noah. I am this person. I do this. I am Sarah. Hello. Hello, Tom. How are you? It's like, what are we doing? Anyway, it's cool. I like it. There's no judgment, but it's weird. And you really are way more flexible and independent and free than you ever could imagine. The more you can recognize that, the better you should feel. I'm also not going to negate here that like this shit is not as important when shit is going great. I really want to convey that like gnarly energy, tough energy, being stuck in stuff, being triggered by things, that's when this shit is actually like, that's when you want this stuff. When you are on the cusp of believing that it doesn't work, that's when you really want to be able to test this shit. Because if you don't believe it there, you don't really believe it. And it's going to be hard to like manifest or create or expand and concour. That's just Aesop Rocky. But it's going to be difficult to do those things if you don't really believe it at the core. Like you got to push yourself kind of right to the point of like, this could be total nonsense. But that's cool because you transcend that too. And then shit starts working. You're like, oh, yeah, sweet. No matter what goes on in my life, no matter what situation I put myself in or find myself in, I have the power to actually change my perspective, my internal imaginal realities, which will usher in a change in physical reality. Starts on the inside, reflected on the outside. And you'll test yourself through fucking everything. It's cool. It's cool. Just remember that. Just remember that. The only thing you should be bothered about is that sometimes you forget you're an eternal and limitless being made out of nothing but unconditional love, and you're playing a game to remind yourself of this very cool fact. That's about it. You can get mad about politics. You can get mad about people who fucked you over. You can get mad about people who might fuck you over. You can get mad about not having money. You can get mad about not being motivated. Get mad at literally bothered by everything. The only thing that you should get mad about is that sometimes you forget you're an eternal and limitless being made out of nothing but unconditional love, and that you're literally playing a game to remind yourself of this fact all the time. That's it. Just be bothered about that. If you're going to pick one thing, you don't even have to be bothered about that because that's cool. All right. Don't panic. Just work it out. Now, when I say just work it out, I thought about this one because there does seem to be some rectification, some healing, some recalibration for the divine masculine, and the divine masculine wants to figure shit out. I will figure this out now. I don't know why I made him a nerd. Why is the divine masculine? The divine masculine does kind of feel like a nerd now. Let's be honest. What are you doing, man? Got to get your shit together. But basically, you can't force things to work out. You can't be like, I will make this. It doesn't work like that. What does work is settling down, calming yourself down to a nice, peaceful, calm state, finding a nice place to operate from, and then from there, allowing things to come in. Set your intention. What would you like to feel like if it was worked out? Do you realize it already is worked out? You're picking from an infinite spectrum of possibilities. Why don't you pick the one where you figured it out? And then you accept that, and then it's fine. Then you don't have to panic. And that's cool. It's nice to not panic. It's not even nobody loves panicking. It just doesn't feel great to panic. Does anyone like that feeling? Do you think in the future, if panic goes away, that like people will go into like other it's a different type of panic room, like some like VR thing where like they just try to freak themselves out. My Oculus comes today. It's VR. I don't know what's going to be going on in that world. That's cool. All right. It's going to be one of those episodes. How you guys been? I know it's been 2 weeks, had guests. I haven't heard me defend any of my positions, which have clearly can change on the turn of a hat. Turn of a hat? Turn of a dime. Oh, man. Yeah, okay. Bane frog. Okay. The depths of your emotions are deeper than the oceans. It sounds stupid when you read it like that. But what I'm trying to say is you don't have, it's like a bottomless well and like a topless well. That doesn't sound right. Although a topless well might be a cool place to hang out. Just saying. Anyway, there's no end in either or any direction to where your emotional kind of felt state can go. I'm constantly reminded of this when I hit feelings and states of consciousness that I've never experienced before, or maybe I'm remembering them and hadn't accessed yet is probably the best way to put it. Haven't accessed yet. And I'm like, whoa, like I'm 37, I'm still hitting new shit all the time. That's fucking cool. So the depths of your emotions, like they go in all directions, all the good ones, all the ones you're like, oh no, they're all there and they're fucking awesome. Just right. King of Cups it. We got a few cards we'll talk about in this episode just because I've been doing a fuckload of these readings. By the way, I figured it out. 15-minute readings, that's the way to do it. That's for me. We work through shit so quickly that like it doesn't need to be 30 minutes. It just doesn't need to be. I just start with an hour. It doesn't need to be 30. It literally like these, I know I can tell from like how they're going. Anyway, got a lot of cards we'll talk about. King of Cups, emotional balance, riding emotional waves, understanding their function, knowing why it's happening, all that type of stuff. It's good stuff. Let your love be the proof. Here's the thing. When you really get this shit and you love everything unconditionally, you will naturally fall into that frequency more often than not. And when you do that and are grateful and appreciative, you create this kind of like awesome vehicle. It's like a time machine, space machine, feeling machine that takes you wherever the fuck you want to go. And then it's the proof. The proof is in your world. Wow, look how awesome that is. Wow, look how great that is. Oh my God, better than I thought. That shit will start to happen. And it doesn't, like I said, I'm going to keep pointing this out because there's a lot of oscillations going on. Doesn't mean if you're not feeling that now, it won't happen. It's up to you to recognize that. Our goal isn't necessarily to always feel amazing and great, but there is a spectrum that allows us to calibrate towards a certain level of baseline where like, maybe the things that used to really fuck us up don't anymore. Maybe it'll be new things. Don't worry. There'll always be. My point is that like you really can get to the point where you start transcending stuff. And that's a lot of what's going on. And if you can recognize a lot of what you feel is dissonance, distortions, difficult shit in your life, like that's you pushing yourself towards where you're supposed to be. If you fight it, it will suck. I can basically guarantee you that your perception of it will suck. If you don't fight it, it'll be nice. It's kind of like an overly like simplistic way of looking at it, but it is true. I've seen it enough reliably. Like if you're not in touch with like a deep desire, like some burning thing you need, that's another place to start. That's a different type of energy. I know a lot of people were moving through that. For me, once I identified that as an energy, I kind of described it like you're on a plane, you are on the tarmac, the runway, getting ready to go to the best place you've ever fucking been. It's so cool, so amazing. You're going to love it. It's so great. But then the plane's delayed. And it's like maybe it's even Corona and you're fucking got their masks on. You've been on the fucking runway for 5 hours. That doesn't happen, by the way, in Corona. The planes are just flying in and out. Got in and out of JFK so easily. Wow. Anyway, you're stuck on the fucking thing and you're like, oh, this sucks. Maybe you didn't come prepared. Maybe you didn't bring snacks or like something you can watch. Didn't download that show. Peaky fucking blinders, mate. It's a horrible English accent. Alpha. Anyway, I'm watching Peaky Blinders and I want to talk like it all the time. And it's not appropriate. It's weird. Especially weird when you meet someone like with an English accent, you're going to do it. That's weird too. Anyway, you're on the plane. It sucks. You're like, ugh, this plane sucks. And you forget you're going to an amazing place. That's what energy was like, I would say, up until like a week, 2 weeks ago. And then it kind of exploded. And then people I know like stable fucking relationships, like all over the place. You can see flare-ups everywhere. It's like, whoa, what the fuck? Whoa, what the fuck? Whoa, what the fuck? God bless you if you're in a relatively new Corona relationship where like the majority of your relationship has been from Corona. God bless you. I'm one of those people because you're like, what the fuck is going on? What is real? Well, then it gets back to normal. What the fuck is normal? I just gave up that there was a normal anyway. So like to me, it's like, this is normal. This is fine. This is cool. It seems like we can move around, do shit. I'm cool with it. Zombie apocalypse, I don't know if I'm totally ready for that. I'm like an okay fighter. I feel like I could kill like maybe I don't know, guns. I haven't really shot too many guns. I don't know. They need to make it like Ender's Game where I can do it like with a fucking video game thing. That'd be good. All right, anyway, zombie apocalypse. Most likely not the timeline we're going to. I can't say. All I know is we're on the best timeline. So if zombies are a part of that, then we're going to that place. But I doubt it. I don't think so. That would be weird. My life is the best and so is yours. So that's cool. That's true. When you accept it, you will get your experience of that. That's fucking true too. When you don't experience that, you've probably forgotten it. It's okay. Or you wanted to teach yourself something through an experience. Doesn't mean it's not the best. It's like a part of a movie where it's like, oh no, oh shit, oh fuck. And then you're like, oh yeah. It's just a regular arc that we enjoy. It's a very interesting reality that we've chosen to exist in. I think this was ketamine made me think of this. I was like, this is the P thing. Like, what is this? What? Why are we doing these things again? I think a lot of people are asking those questions and they're like, rather than face them, they're going to do lots of other things. But like, it's like, what's going on here? Pourquoi? Why did I say a French thing like Spanish? Pourquoi? That's weird. All right. Cool. I paid for poker with Bitcoin a couple of weeks ago. I won poker, by the way. Got to get that in there. That's great. Reality is slowly buffering in. Listen about the crypto stuff. All I can say is this. There are highs, there are lows. It's fun. Just don't. My only advice, because people ask this, they're like, I have crypto questions. You can join the Patreon for the server. That's the easiest way. The even easier way is buy some Bitcoin, hold the Bitcoin. Don't put any money into crypto that you're not saying bye-bye to. You will not lose it. It's very hard to lose it unless you sell it once it loses value. Like, that's the only way. So just buy it confidently. A regular amount could be $20. Are you getting unemployment? But put a percentage of it in there. You'll make the money back, I promise you. If I know anything about money, you make it, you spend it, you lose it, you gain it. It's just take that approach. Crypto will help loosen those wheels. Grease those wheels for you. So anyway. Poker, Bitcoin, cool. Have you realized you're unbreakable yet? You don't break. You may bend so fucking much that you're like, I'm gonna break. I'm actually gonna break. This sucks. I cannot handle this. It's unbearable. I am going to break. And then you don't. Because you're not. Because you can't break. You're kind of too cool for that. It's true. You wouldn't be listening to this if that weren't true. It's impossible. It's like there's like a cosmic law that prevents that. So that's cool. Just accept that. Don't forget you're eternally blessed. That's really important too. If you forget that, then you might be like, oh shit, this sucks. Like for too long. For too long, being subjective, of course. If you like to be there, if you use it productively, God knows I do. I stay in sucks energy for a little bit. Not too long though. My tolerance level for it is very low. It's very low these days because I don't want to say it's like a choice. It's just like a cosmic nexus point where like you can catch it and be like, all right, what is this? I'm going to deal with it. Fuck it. No matter what. And then even if you're still in it a little bit, you don't like buy into it as something that's owning you. Don't, nah, it's you. Okay. What you're experiencing. Oh no, I already spoke to this. The plain thing. Cool. Ahead of the game. Your destination is your heart's true desire. That's true. It's God, that sounds corny, doesn't it? Jeez Louise. That sounds like real cornball thing to say. Your destination is your heart's true desire. What the fuck? But it's actually true. Your heart being this intuitive, subjective, energetic kind of spinning chakra wheel that integrates in with the rest of that sphere, kind of like a mycelial mushroom web, right? That's kind of what it is. That has like a natural proclivity or resonance with other things, and that's where you're going, and that's where you're pulling yourself to. And it's like you might be smashing into like meteors and other things and cosmic debris on the way, but you're being like summoned and pulled towards that thing. If you accept it and get in a cool fucking spaceship and follow the fucking signal, you're great. If you're in like a clunky dinky donkey do and you get clunky dinky donkey do, if you're in some shitty spaceship like a tin can thing and you're getting fucking knocked around, it sucks. But that's where you're going. That's a good way of describing your destination is your heart's true desire. Holy shit. Yeah, don't forget that though. You're on your way. All right. Have you realized you're always winning yet? Like, I know winning and losing, it's such a dualistic thing. Poo-poo duality. I get it. But you are like always you're very good to yourself. That's the truth. It's really, you don't recognize it because you don't see yourself as everything all of the time. I speak from personal experiences, but when you do catch it on and you do see that, like, oh my God, I think I'm fucking really in charge of I think I'm creating my reality. You're just winning. You're winning. It's great. Other people don't have to lose for you to win. Everyone's a winner. That's super important. King of Cups I spoke about. Resiliency. We'll talk about this shit. Nine of Wands. Holy fuck. Listen, you get the shit beaten out of you. I think that's what a lot of 2020 was for most people. 2021, I think it's going to be a shift. Who knows? 2024, we're good. We're cruising. So just like hold that in your mind. I get a lot of messages from people saying, I think I recorded a podcast with Ramin last year where I guess I said a lot of shit about 2020 and a lot of that's happening. I don't remember it. I have no fucking idea what I said. It'd be amazing if I called it down. It's like pandemic, virus, 12 monkeys, but I probably didn't do that. It's a high degree of accuracy. That brings me to another thing. It's very hard to get like specifics of situations. You may get flashes of imaginal things that are going to happen. You can do it. You can prove it to yourself. You can do it down to the fucking T if you want. But what's really easy to do is the feeling of how you'll feel once the thing is done or has been done. If you do that, that's better. You get the mystery that way. You get the how's it going to happen. You don't have to react to things not happening or happening. So use the feeling as your tether, not necessarily the specific. That just feels like the thing for now, for today's energy, for this current energy, right? Sometimes it's more applicable to visualize or hear orally, what's going on. So, all right. I have always been here before. Rocky Erickson. Oh my God. I was with Sean and Cass the other day. Go check out the episode I did with them on Very 8 Podcast. And holy shit, he's so good. I have always been here before. Great song. Love it. They're the best. We're going to do stuff. The imaginal crop is ready, almost time to harvest. Just be harvesting. 3 of Cups, 3 of Cups, 3 of Cups. Harvest time. Celebration. Fucking, you've been imagining some amazing things for yourself. Time to harvest. For real. Also, like, when I get through these notes, we'll go into, like, if people are, if you're still stuck, if you're still feeling in, like, gnarly, fucked up shit, we'll talk about that. And that includes many different things. You will keep putting yourself in situations that force you to be who you really are. Yep, that's true. Have you realized really who you really are yet? Huh? That's important. Who are you? Who are you? Are you the creator, sustainer, and destroyer of your entire reality because it's your reality in like a very literal way? If you recognize that and start seeing the connections, it becomes obvious. You may forget it at times. That's a functional aspect of this reality, but it's one you control the lever for. Okay? That's what's really going on. I know it's weird. We're going to get into some Neville Goddard stuff at the end here and, maybe fuse together some ideas, but that's really who you are. And if you forget it in the darkest of times, you never really knew it. That's the real truth. Now, don't judge yourself if you're going through a hard time. You're just strengthening that muscle of faith and conviction. It sounds like a fucking evangelical, preachy thing, but it's not. It's just true. And you will be the person you want to be. You'll make the most incredible leaps, quantum leaps forward in your consciousness and perspective when you really recognize this. Now, in the same token, if you forget it, you can take those quantum leaps down. And that's not a bad thing either. Up and down the ladder. Do it again. Truthfully, it's not a bad thing. Working through distortions, a lot of people are, patterns, transcending stuff. It's no big deal. You got this shit. It's no fucking big deal. It's not, like, you got it. You're good. You did it. For real. Nine of Wands. Not a lot of Nine of Wands energy. Okay. Neville Goddard. Some of this stuff is a little brutal, I think, right? Yeah. There is no one to blame but self for all of the things that have happened, are happening, and will happen to you, as they could not come into your world unless you consented to them. That's what I mean by like putting yourself into place, shuffling yourself into place. You do it to you. No one does it to you. The longer you think someone's doing something to you, the longer you will delay the realization that you were doing it to you. Remember that. You know it. I know you know it because it's impossible not to know that. That's how you come into existence, is by like truly believing and knowing that fact. Okay. So you're doing it. It's cool. Don't be weird about it. Have a good time. Contentment, joy, harmony. I got this great deck. Nature's Whispers. Nature's Whispers. Sounds like a toilet paper. I figured that out on the live stream last night. Sounds like a toilet paper, but it's a great deck. Nature's Whispers. Wipe your poop up with this toilet. That's the hard thing as a toilet paper manufacturer. Like, how do you convey what it does? Wipes poop up. Pee if you're a girl. Do you know some people think that guys wipe their penis with toilet paper afterwards? No, who's doing that? No one's doing that. Is that a thing? You shake it. Are people taking toilet paper and wiping their penis after they go pee? Is that a thing that I'm unaware of? No one does that. That's not a thing. No one's taught that. I'm pretty sure. That was a nice tangent from you creating your own reality. Cool. Here's another one. It is the highest wisdom to know that in the living universe, there is no destiny other than that created out of the imagination of man. There is no influence outside of the mind of man. To be clear, I know I think we're past the gender stuff. When I say man, I think we know what we mean. Human consciousness, right? No big deal. This is us. That hits people real weird sometimes. That is not saying man is the dominant cosmic species. No one is saying that there. What's saying is the imagination of man, which is everything. It is the I am. It is the collective. It's unity consciousness. That's it. It's in your imagination. It's you. That's the whole thing. Don't let anyone deprive you of that. So don't take it to be like a hubristic, like, oh, man's the best. We are better than all the things. You're interdimensional beings. Yeah, cool, but you're not human. It's also that too. That can be cool too. But like, it's really that the thing that makes you allows you to perceive and be aware is you, and it's your imagination. That's God. That's everything. That's cool. That's all that's saying. Objective reality is solely produced through imagining. That's just true. It's just give a shot. Give it a shot. That's all I'm saying. Test it out. This sounds like fucking phony baloney poopy pops. Think I'm a deranged Trump fan? Fucking, zigzagging, scat scooting around the way? Okay, whatever. Give it a shot though. Try imagining some stuff. The techniques are all there in the early episodes. You can find this stuff everywhere. Come on. Know what's up? To attempt to change circumstances before I change the imaginal activity is the struggle against the very nature of things. God bless you. Don't do the things out there before you do them on the in there. Sounded like a weird Bill Cosby. Don't do the things out there until you do the things on the in there. Just do it like that. That's the way to do it. And then you'll be good. And then you won't have to make the mistake of trying to change other people or change other situations. Really want to talk like Bill Cosby right now? Guess that's an upgrade from Peaky Blinders. Alpha. Oh. It's just in my head constantly. I don't know. I don't know why that is. It's just a fact of reality now. I do know why it is. I'm watching a lot of Peaky Blinders. It's fucking good. Wow, I made so much music last night, guys. I'm so happy. Our acceptance of the waking dream as physical reality wills the means for its fulfillment. We accept it. Loosen it. Loosen those screws on what you believe. Then see what's possible and have a good time. That's basically how it goes. Or don't have a good time. Whatever. It's your choice. No one's telling you have to have a good time. Well, I'm not having a good time. Don't tell me to have a good time. You can. It's fine. I've been going through the fucking craziest, most like abandonment, trust, deep fucking trauma patterns, crazy shit. I don't even know it's mine, ancestral, familial, personal, all the shit. I'm fine. I'm good. I fucking got through it, and you will too. You gotta forge ahead. And if you're going through shit and people around you aren't going through shit, that's fine. Maybe you're just a trailblazer. Don't justify your psychoticness. Don't be totally like unhinged. Obviously, sense boundaries. There's a lot of expansion. There's a lot of boundary energy coming in, right? A lot of expansion, a lot of boundaries. They're not at odds with each other, right? They can coexist. Understand where those are. Don't be so loosey-goosey that you'll lose all fucking perspective completely on what it's like to be you. That's not fun. You wouldn't be you. You wouldn't come here as you if you didn't want to be you. That's true. You love yourself as you. That's why you came here. But also recognize, have some fucking boundaries at times. It's cool. It's no big deal. All right. In the Gospel of Mark, we find these words. The time is fulfilled and the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Repent and believe in the gospel. The word repent means a radical change of attitude, of thinking towards anything that you either dislike or want to change. Repent, just like, nah, I don't want that. I'm good. Good on that shit. Don't want it. Don't need it. Not in a childish way. Not in an immature way. Just be like, nah, I just don't want that. It's for boundary stuff, right? That's good. And like the kingdom of heaven, it's your experience. Gospel's just like a good spell, a nice spell. I'm going to cast a nice spell of positivity and joy and fucking happiness. Cool? We good with that? All right, cool. All right. If you have a goal, although it is unseen, it already exists. Your normal mortal eye cannot see it, but by rearranging the structure of your mind, you can see it clearly. That's faith. That's conviction. That's prayer. Do that for yourself and for other people. Remember the beginning? Imagine everyone being really well. Just doing really everyone I know. That guy too? Her? Oh, not that son of a bitch. Yep, them too. Shit. Sucks. I know it's uncomfortable. Don't force yourself to do it, but like eventually try to get to the point where you're like, all right. You know when I practice this is when like someone's an asshole on the road. Fucking just like a total asshole. For no reason, sometimes maybe a reason, but usually for no reason. And it's just like, if you can do it in the moment, you're like, all right, I wish you well too, you fucking asshole. Then you're doing well. Okay. The good you subjectively accept as true of others will not only be expressed by them, but a full share will be realized by you. How nice is that? You get good stuff when you wish good stuff. That's a good policy of the universe. That makes sense. That's just a good thing to have happen. That's cool. Do that. Be selfish about it. I don't give a shit. You can do whatever. But you get good stuff when you wish good stuff. Boop, boop, boo, beeby, doobity, doo. The perfect man judges not after appearances, but judges righteously. He sees others as he desires them to be. He hears only what he wants to hear. He sees only the good in others. In him is no condemnation, for he transforms the world with his seeing and hearing. That's how I know it's the best timeline. You really do that. And maybe you take a radical opinion where you're, seeing someone who other people don't see as good is good. And maybe that's not comfortable sometimes. Maybe people leave podcast reviews saying you're a fucking piece. No, it's that. No one did that. But just don't judge people. You don't know what's really going on. It doesn't really matter too. Like you can, it's just not worth it. As mental arguments produce conflicts, so happy mental conversations produce corresponding visible states of good tidings. Create yourself out of your own imagination. That's good to do that. You want to do that. A lot of this energy feels like Kali, the god of destruction, goddess of destruction, fucking Jesus Christ. That's what it feels like. Big old fucking fuck fest of the divine feminine and the divine masculine, Christ consciousness. And I'm totally fucking here for it. I love it. It's great. But you got to know that's what's going on. You got this destruction and consciousness and unity and duality and you know, it can get a little rough sometimes, I think. I just have a feeling with those two, you know, just an idea, just what I think. So there's a lot of recalibration of energies going on, and it's cool. It's totally great. It's not as, don't make it a bigger deal than it needs to be. If you can laugh at this shit and recognize you're allowed to have fun even in the face of total fucking chaos, that's good. And it's not total fucking chaos. It's a restructuring of chaos into cosmos, into order. That is a constant evolutionary process. It's always happening. Time doesn't really exist. I'm going to keep saying that until like people really get what I mean. It's not real as we think it is. I know that hits the logical, analytical mind. It's like, what the fuck are you saying? Of course I know. It exists. We're experiencing it. But it doesn't really. You can access any state of consciousness, any state of being, whenever you want. That's real. That's real. Your external reality, people can have the change everything in an instant. Everything can change in an instant. You can access those states. You can provoke those states. You can promote those states. That's true. Okay. Jeez, what an episode. Wow. What's going on? Feeling good. Feeling great. Just do the shit you're supposed to do. Again, let me hammer that home. You will be put in the position to do, you're putting yourself in the position to do what you're supposed to be doing. I know it. You know it when you're doing it too. You're like, oh, yeah, this is it. Fuck, this is it. I'm supposed to be doing this. This is that thing that I'm supposed to do. Okay. And then you do it. And then you don't have any reservations about it. And you operate from that space, and it's fucking great. It's also a great way to stay inspired if you do that. It's like you just generate self-inspiration. And don't fucking judge yourself. I spazzed out so hard. Guys, can I be clear? I don't know. I don't want to delve too much into it, but like, oh my God. I'm very emotional person. And I dealt with some serious shit over the past month, 2 months, just like feeling like inside, like, you know, insecurity, fucking trust, abandonment stuff, like really digging it up. And I felt not so great at times, but I didn't forget that I'm doing this. I'm running it, and it serves a greater purpose. And you want to work. If you do it right, you work through that shit before you get like the outside reflections of what you want. Does that make sense? Get your desires achieved. You work through those things, and then you get your shit. And it's like, whoa, cool. I'm super into it. Patreon, join it. I think the $13 tier is the best one. $7's pretty good too. The Twitch and the live streaming stuff, that's booting up. We're creating vibes over there. It's pretty fun. Discord server is probably the best benefit. That's at the $7 tier. Patreon's probably the best way to get involved right now, I want to say. It's really, there's a community forming there, and it's pretty cool. I really like it, is what I'm saying. You get access to all the previous episodes that you can hear as soon as you join, and all the live streams. I'm starting to record these things before they boot them when I have like music. I'm going to put one up today where like, you know, put music and talk and do readings. It's pretty fun. Pretty fun stuff. Anything else? That's it. Website, syncpodcast.com. There's an email. There's all this shit. You know what it is. Readings, Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, 15-minute slots. Go check them. That's it. syncpodcast.com/readings. Those are good. I'm feeling real good. Also lower price point, right? They're shorter, so I'm not charging like $1 million yet, but they're there. So if you're interested in those and you've been waiting, you're like, you know what? Do it now. It's a good time to do it. Things are great. Flowing, feeling good. I know they're gnarly. I know things can change instantly for everyone. Ride the fucking waves is all I can say. If you wipe out, just get back on your board. No big deal. Hang 10, cowabunga. Till next week. happy imagining.